And we're talking websites, 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 websites. That's like on my brain. Because first, I've been talking to my students. I am lucky to be a faculty member for the Peabody Launchpad this semester, helping to teach a course called Build Portfolio. And we are at the point in the semester where my students are building their own websites. And it is very cool to shepherd them through this process and help them as they their whole like online portfolio lives. And the other reason is because Live Music Project is relaunching our, and this is huge, right? So I really, really like, please come check it out, livemusicproject.org, very, very soon. So right, in the next few days, it's going to be live. And this has been a while in the making, and I'm just so thrilled to see it coming to fruition. I'm so proud of my colleagues, especially Shia, who has just been such a force of nature for building this incredible tool. And I cannot wait for everybody to use this. So you can see websites are on the brain. So let's talk about your website. Okay, so when we're thinking about websites, as my friend Dana asked, what are the characteristics that make an efficient website or a website that works for you? And what I have learned so much from working with our Live Music Project website and working with Shia and our team of software developers is thinking through how we lay out information in a way that is efficient, elegant, and usable for our users, right? They come to the website, we want them to be getting the information that they're looking for and being able to act on it, right? In a way that suits them. We're not trying to like force them into the information that we think is right for them. We're saying like, this is the information that you're looking for, and I want you to be able to find it. And so I have learned so much from this process that a few years ago, I redid my own website to start thinking about this. And if you visited my website, you can see very clearly in the nav bar, I started thinking, well, who's coming to my website? How do I tell them that this information is for them? So you can even see across the top, I changed it to be like for presenters, for composers, for listeners, for clients, right? For coaching clients, because I want you to get to that page and go, oh, this is where I'm supposed to go. This is information that is for me. And because of that, that really helped me coalesce what I'm doing. So if you land on one of those, you're finding the information that's the most relevant to you, and all of it is right there. You don't have to hunt around the rest of the website to figure out what it is that I do. You're coming right to that page and you're going, oh, here's a touring program with this particular ensemble. Here's the rep that's part of it. Here's a sound, like here's a clip, here's a video or a sound link. And also here's how to book this show, right? So trying to make it very easy. I would like for you to think through the same thing. First, who is coming to my website? Who is your primary audience? I think we've talked about this on a Fri-YAY, but if not, go back to Sybaritic Singer and read all about it. Primary, secondary, tertiary audiences. Your primary audience is the person who is legit paying you to do the thing that you do. They're your client, right? So for a composer, this might be your commissioner, right? So if you are a composer and you aren't laying out your website for the thing that you want to have happen the most, commissions or people buying your scores or whatever, then I would like for you to reconsider. So, and I would like for you to just think through, what are people doing on this website? What is it that they want to find out more about? And how do I let them take the next step? So that's the first part. Who's coming to your website? Is the information coherent and relevant to that person? Do they go to the website, they figure out exactly what they needed to know, and then, right, this part, can they take the next step? Is there a call to action on every single page? I want there to be a call to action. What do you want them to do with that information? Because they're gonna just be like, well, that's nice, click out. And so if you don't have a call to action, then you're just like letting them take that information and go. See if you can encourage them to take the next step with you. Perhaps that call to action is get on my email list. Perhaps that call to action is book this show. Perhaps that call to action is let's have a conversation about working together. I don't know. It can be whatever you want it to be, right? So I want you to think through, who's this for? What is the relevant information so that they don't have to go hunting around the site for the whole thing, right? Call to action. So I want you to think through that the whole process. And this doesn't matter who you are, what role you have in music or in the arts, right? This works for everything. Can they easily find what they're looking for? Can they take the next step? So think through all of that. So things that I find really helpful on websites are, I want to kind of broaden this out, right? Who are some of the other people that might be coming to my website? Some of the people that come to my website are people who work in marketing and communications because they need to pull bios or get headshots or whatever for marketing things, for a program, for, for a flyer, for whatever it is. And I want to make it super easy. So when they come to it, I have a press kit spot, be able to go to that and copy and paste, right? So they don't have to miss any of these links. They're right there. There's multiple links because I know that we need multiple bios for things, right? I also, my headshots, I have a link to press quotes. I have a link to interview questions like that are all in a Google Drive folder or Dropbox folder or something, so that when I swap them out, they're always there. They're always connected. I don't have to swap them in two places. They're just one place, right? So we're trying to make it as efficient as possible, make sure that things aren't out of date on my website. So I want you to think about the same thing. I want this to be super easy to maintain. Same thing with if you keep an events calendar on your website. This is, I'm so guilty of this, but I want to tell you about one of the systems that I implemented for myself. So one of the systems that I do to make sure that I keep my events calendar as clear as well as up to date as possible is that I have a little trigger in my brain that if I sign a contract, I put the information on my website immediately. So because as soon as I'm signing the contract, right? As soon as I sign the contract, put that information on my website, on the calendar, because I want people to know about it. I want people to go. And so if they're coming there to find out if I'm performing anywhere near them soon, they can see it. So think about what kinds of systems do you need to set up for yourself so that once this happens, kind of an if-then statement. If I sign a contract, I put it on my calendar on my website. If I sign a contract, I put the ensemble or piece on my list of commissions, right? Whatever it is for you, you want to think through, this is the system that I need for this. The other thing that I want to see more of is just efficiency in general. If I want you to think about your goals, and I want you to say, as a composer, one of the things that I hear people say is well, I want to sell more scores, but they don't make it easy to sell scores. I want you to think through, how can I make this as easy as possible? What would it take? What's the threshold that I need to reach? If I sell one score, does it pay for having a store on my website? Probably. What number do you need to make that happen? And then how can you reach that? How can you make this more sustainable for yourself? Because I think I talked about this in the Fri-YAY called Build the Container, which is when you build those things, I want you to build the store, start putting your scores in there, right? I built a store so that I could put coaching, so I could put the templates and things that I make into that store. Without those, I don't sell them. People don't magically think up and go, maybe she'll sell it to me for this price point that I'm hoping for. Okay. But I want you to start there. Even if you don't implement a store, next to the score on your site, you can say email for purchase options, something like that, and the link, right? Make it very easy for people to click the thing, follow the steps, and say, I want this in my life, right? So whatever you need to do to make that happen, ask yourself, can I just build the container? Can I just make this a real thing that people can see and purchase, whatever? And then you're more aligned with your goals. You're saying, okay, so if I want to book more performances, I need to make it very clear what the performance is that I'm trying to book, have a landing page for that, have some sound examples. And then when I pitch people for the show, I'm sending them to that page where they can get more information. They can see other things that I do and then go, oh yeah. Or I have my workshops and masterclasses listed out, because then I can send that when people say, oh, Megan, do you teach any of these things that you talk about on Fri-YAY? Do you teach those in workshop form? And I go, you bet I do. But then it's easy for them to look at that, make their choices, and then you better believe I got a call to action and I say, come on over, let's talk about this. So please think through those things for you. What are the things that you're wanting? What are your goals? What are the things you're wanting more of in your life? Do you want to book more shows? Do you want to get more commissions? Do you want to write more? Do you want to, like, get gigs as a reviewer, or do you want to, whatever it is for you, right? Think through, what's the thing that you're selling? What's your offer? Are your offers very clear on your website for the people who buy those things, for the people who make decisions about those things? Are you making it easy for them to come and get all the relevant information, and then also giving them a next step? What's the next step that you want them to take with you? So walk through those things for yourself and ask yourself if you've done that for each one of your offers, right? Is it clear that you have these multiple offers available? So, right, if you do composing for media, but you also do arranging, is it clear on your website that you have these multiple offers that people could hire you for those? Or is it just one of your offers, right? I want you to think through these things. So if you have questions about this, hit me up, email me, comment here, message me wherever you're watching this. And I love to talk about websites. I'm happy to answer your questions. And I want you to feel like you have thought through, what are my goals? What do people who are coming to my website need, right? And how can they take the next step? And that's it. All right, divas, stay sparkly inside and out. Until next time.